Gotta finish this section down here. That's what I'm doing next. All right, had to run out for a moment. Cool. Cool. When I get out, it's hard to get back into it when you've been stepped away for a little while. So I got to get back into things and make sure everything is up and running. Limit that one. Oops. All right, let's see. These tubs are kind of a bright teal color, so that's what I'm coming into this with. I want this to be teal, but not too teal. Not too much. Why don't you just switch into British? That's because no one's here, that's why. Let's see. Hola! Buenos dias? Is that what I say? Buenos dias? I don't know. I think that sounds right. Good day. Buenos noches. Ah, that's right. And hey, Scoot Boy. Scoot Boy. That reminds me of like a pug that scoots on their booty around the house. I love that. So how are you guys doing? I'm happy to see you here. I'm working on this painting. I don't know if you guys have been in here before or if you're newish. Bonita pintura. I'd guess that means pretty painting, nice painting. Beautiful painting. Well, thanks. Gracias. So this painting is oh, all right, you were here from Valstream. Lorenzo, were you here from Valstream too? So I went after this, my last stream. I went to Lowe's. I picked up some wood. Oh yeah, you don't speak English. Well, I don't speak Spanish. Not really. So I am going to show Lorenzo the rest of the painting. It's Pintura Grande. See, I keep wanting to slip into Kinyarwanda because I speak Kinyarwanda, but I don't speak Spanish. Let's see. Oh no! I put my camera in upside down. I was playing with my camera to see if I could get it to move around. After I finish this, I'm going to be painting on the whole thing. So I'm going to need to have a camera that can move around. And sorry, I'm off camera, but I was playing with this camera and I accidentally put it back on the tripod upside down, so I gotta flip it around. Ah, that's better. So, you like to see people paint. I also love to see people paint and draw. So let's see if I got this in the right spot. So that you can see it, this is what the whole painting looks like. This is the rest of the painting, and I'm just painting this spot right here, little by little.
Babe, it's time to get up.
Can't be that time already.
Come on, you know you're gonna have a busy day today.
No, I know. I'm gonna get up. But you know, I think it's gonna be a real good morning, y'all. Yeah,
all right.
It's time that I wake up, singing in the shower while my girl does her makeup. Kiss on the cheek while I wish her a good day. She handed me my iPod and said, "Damn, I love you, babe." Popped in my headphones and started my walk. I would've went for a drive, but my whip's in the shop. Look at the clock, 7:45. Looks like I'm running late again. Always trying to luck, but you gotta play to win. I really need one, fighting these demons. Be prepared, life changes like the seasons. I adapt to rap schemes and flash things that I got from music, plus all the problems that cash brings. That's expected when you trying to be great. Just know I give it my all, I know that y'all can relate. I feel the weight, but I just keep pushing. Music is here to help me like a good woman. See, I can never do nothing on my own.
It's wonderful. It's a ton of work, and I'm getting there. And I really need to. It's like crunch time. I need to jump into the floor here. I'm gonna go ahead and change brushes for that.
Moving forward, 'cause you know that I'm blessed. Spreading love, 'cause you know that I'm blessed. No matter the test.
So
My best. Come on, never worry, 'cause you know that I'm blessed. Keep my head up, 'cause you know that I'm blessed. Moving forward, 'cause you know that I'm blessed. Spreading love, 'cause you know that I'm blessed. No matter the test, you know that I'ma give it my best. Come on, you know what they say, good things take time. Seems we always in a rush, but never open our eyes to see things grow. Take things slow. Young boy exploring the world and be home before them streets.
So this floor is. Where is this fine piece of art? This is in my basement. Uh, but it's so I'm in St. Louis, and so this is in my basement. But it's not going to stay here. Next week, I'm delivering this painting to a company, a business that has purchased it. So it will not stay here long. And so yeah, this is in St. Louis. I have there's 7 houses. They're all from different neighborhoods in St. Louis. So, well, 2 of them are from the same neighborhood, and that's my neighborhood. So I can kind of point them out. That I have so this is in a neighborhood. This first one's in a neighborhood called Fox Park. The next one is a house that's in Old North, the north part of Old North. This next one is in a place called Lafayette Square Park. It's a great big giant building. I had to make it smaller so that it wouldn't overshadow all the other ones. The next one's in a place called LaSalle neighborhood, and then Fountain Park, and then my house in Old North, and then Spanish Lake at the end. So these are all different neighborhoods. And then most of the people in the basements are all in Old North. They're my neighbors that actually run businesses out of their house. Yeah. But this took me, I started this last year. I don't remember exactly when, but sometime last year. And it's taken some months. I haven't been working on it full time because I've been teaching in that time and figuring out teaching. I'm trying to remember because I started streaming right around the time the pandemic hit. And I had another painting that I was working on before that. It was smaller, but it was still pretty big. And I delivered that one in December. I started working on this right before that. So November. I started working on this in November, I think. I'm glad you like it. It's been a lot. All right. Am I still? It just occurred to me that no, I am zoomed in. Well, thanks for stopping by, Lorenzo. It was nice to chat with you for a little bit. I need to work on my Spanish so that next time you come by I can chat a little bit. I would love to learn Spanish, I just haven't. I'm thinking about sending my son to a Spanish immersion school next year so that he can learn Spanish. But yeah, thank you so much for dropping by. I plan on streaming as long as I can stay awake tonight. So right now it's about 8 o'clock. I plan to stream. Next stream in Spanish, just completely in Spanish. Let's do it. That actually sounds really fun. More fun for you probably because I'll be stumbling through it horribly. If we did a stream in Kinyarwanda, I could do a stream in Kinyarwanda. That'd be all right. Nchoboro kuvuga Kinyarwanda nta kibazo. Arako. Nabo bantu bamenya kujivuga. Hi, Millie Stark. Is that like Tony Stark's younger cousin? Or is that actually your name, Millie Stark? I don't want to make fun of your name. Oh, okay, you're watching Game of Thrones. I watched a little bit of Game of Thrones while my wife and I were in Rwanda. We had literally nothing to do. We started watching it. We didn't get very far. And now we're never gonna finish it because we just haven't heard any good things about the ending, and I don't want to. No one wants to spend that much time on a series for there not to be a spectacular ending. So endings are important. So I'm not going to finish it. You gave up after 3 seasons? I think we were into 2 seasons. Do I post any of my art on Insta, Discord, or other things? Yeah. Let me see. I can put in my. I have a website. And then let's see. I have. Well, on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, every of the things, I'm Doug Weaver Art. So I'm easy to find. If you Google Doug Weaver Art, all my stuff comes up. But I can put it in here if you want. But most things are on my website. Not everything. If you want to know what I'm working on right now, it's my Insta's better to follow. But right now I'm just working on this. So you already know. Sorry, I'm just looking at... One of you have to be Yeet Your Boy. Is that Scoot Boy or... I do that sometimes when I go to the park with my son and I throw him up in the air. I do occasionally yeet my boy. I need to just add more of this in here. Just get it real dark. You can lighten it up. As long as I know which direction the tiles are going in, I can push them pretty dark. I would like to... I mean, I really wanted to like Game of Thrones, but I don't know. Lately we've been watching The Great. If you've never seen The Great, it's on Hulu. That show is funny. Yeah, I knew it had to be you. When I see boy written like that, it always reminds me of Jason Mendoza from what's that show? They're in the Good Place. Boy. Alright. So I ate, so with my family being out of town, I always, what was I going to say? I started to say something and then I spaced out because I was painting. So I used to, when my family is home, I usually do most of the cooking. And so normally around 5 o'clock, I go and I make food. And when my family's gone, I just don't care. I don't know. And so I ended up eating at Burger King. It wasn't good. I knew it wasn't going to be good, but it's just I can't bring myself to cook for myself. I don't know. It's weird. And I tend to just really let myself go when I'm by myself. Just like a crazy... Oh, I just realized I'm in... Yeah. Crazy energy drink binge and stay up till 3 a.m. painting and then crash. I don't take care of myself, and if my wife's gone for like 2 or 3 days, then takes me a while to recover from being alone. I feel like if I was actually alone, if I wasn't married, if I was a bachelor, I would get things figured out. I would take care of myself. I would work out and stuff. But I don't know, when I'm alone, I just am out of my element. There we go. You take care of your friends or whoever you're with a lot, because it's habit, because most of your old friends didn't take care of themselves. Yeah, I mean, I generally do take good care of myself when people are, well, not just when people are around, but like, I work out almost every day. I eat fairly healthily. But I don't know. It's something about, maybe it's just like something about letting go and letting loose when there's no, it's like if you don't have one responsibility, you're like, I'm gonna abandon all responsibilities because I can. Maybe not the best idea in the world, but no, I think that might be good for mental health, actually. To have, like, every once in a while you just don't worry about anything and just let it go, like a wintry princess. I want this to be a little bit warmer. I'm going to bring out some yellow in it. Hey, Spudzer, 150. Not too much going on. I'm just painting. I'm going to be painting all night until I can't anymore, until I pass out of sleepiness. Not like actually pass out. That would be concerning. I do occasionally pass out. I have a heart murmur, so and it doesn't affect me at all unless if I squat more than like 250 pounds. My heart, my blood flows backwards, and I black out. So it's a little scary if I go to the gym and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna. Every once in a while I try it out. Every once in a while I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do some squats. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I haven't done this in years. I'm feeling good. It's gonna be fine. And then I do like one rep, and then you know instantly like, oh no, I made a mistake. And I just then turn to my wife and I'm like, hey hun, I'm gonna lay down on the ground now. Make sure no one steps on me. And then like when I wake up 5 minutes later, she's like, did you try to do squats? Like, yeah. Still can't do them. You'd think I'd stop trying, but it's like, it's not like I can't do. Oh, he had to climb something? See, I have so many, like, it's just that one specific workout. Because, like, I run a lot. And since I discovered that I have a heart murmur, I've run a marathon, I've run several half marathons. Right now I run about 16 miles a week. I don't have any problems. So it's not even cardio. It's specifically, for some reason, squats. Can't do squats. But I remember the first time it happened, it scared my wife pretty bad. Deadlifts, I haven't tried deadlifts. I imagine those would definitely knock me out. I haven't done deadlifts in over a decade, at least. Yeah, I haven't tried deadlift, so um, you can't even run a mile. Well, you could. It takes some effort to work up to it. I remember when my wife and I first started running, we started out with like a. I think what we started out with is we're gonna run as much as we can, but we're just gonna run/walk for 20 minutes 3 times a week. And we ended up walking most of those 20 minutes, but like slowly trying to get more running and less walking. And once you could get to where you can just jog for 20 minutes, that's when you can start thinking about like, okay, how far am I jogging in 20 minutes? And start thinking about either increasing your speed, maybe jog a little bit faster, or increasing your distance, or increasing the time. Okay, well, if I can jog for 20 minutes, can I jog for 22 minutes? And once you get past, there's like certain thresholds that you have to get past to start to, like, there's certain barriers. I remember 2 miles was so hard to get past. But it's like once you get past 2 miles, then it's like, oh, well, 5 miles isn't that hard. But you have to get there. And then now I run, during the week I run 4 miles twice, and then on the weekend I run 8 miles. And I'll slowly start to increase that. Do you get much of a runner's high? I do, actually, and it's really nice. It's very strange to feel you do, for a little while, and then, but mostly just really hungry. Makes you very hungry. Especially if you didn't eat enough before you went, then you come home and your body's like, feed me. And I happily oblige. I find that, like, especially on days that I'm going to work out, if I need to eat something in the morning, I need to eat enough in the morning that I'm not going to be just, like, totally toast after I work out. So usually, as long as I eat some eggs for breakfast, they're like the magical food that they are filling, they're good for you. That, like, eating 3 eggs for breakfast, even on days you don't work out, just if you can make yourself eat 3 eggs for breakfast, you'll be less hungry throughout the day. And I don't know, I find that I just eat healthier any day that I eat eggs for breakfast. The runner's high is when you have done, when you do a lot of, what's it called? When you do a lot of cardio, your body will release endorphins that make you feel real good. I don't know what those endorphins are called, but yeah, it'll make you feel great. You feel, yeah. So you can get a little bit of a high from running, but only if you're running far enough. If you run like, well, I mean, it's going to depend on how far you're running regular. For me, to get a runner's high, usually that means I need to run more than about 5 or 6 miles to get a runner's high. Just because that's when my body starts to get excited. Is that how that works? You gotta get laundry real quick. Well, I have some laundry I need to do, but I'm gonna do it some other time. Whereabouts you from? I am from, well, I grew up in Oregon, but then, alright, I'm gonna jump into, well, how much do you want to know? I grew up in Oregon until I was 18, and when I was 18, I moved to... Oh, America is enough. Oh, okay. I'm in America. Actually, so I met my wife on the internet when I was 16, and we dated online for, we started dating when I was 17. I met her in person. So I flew to Missouri to meet her in person when I was 17, and then moved to Missouri when I was 18, and we got married when I was 19. And I've been married coming up on 13 years now. We've been married. So yeah, so now I live in Missouri. You're in Ireland. Cool. I've never been to Ireland, but I would love to. So what's your favorite food? Out of curiosity. So I lived in Rwanda for 2 years, and something I think is funny is they have a word that's ibirai. Rai means irai is for Irish, and ibi means a thing. So ibirai means an Irish thing. And so the Kinyarwanda word ibirai, which is Irish things, is that's their word for a potato. They literally just call potatoes Irish things. Yep. So like when you go to the market, you're like, oh, I'll take five. I'll take a half kilo of Irish things. The shaki mirai. They have a lot of funny names for things. Like, I mean, potatoes are pretty stellar. Um, that they have their word for barbecue pork is akabenzi, which stands for little Benz, because they think that the snout of a pig looks like the snout of a pig. They think it looks like the Mercedes-Benz logo. So akabenzi means little Benz. So pork is little Benz. So no, it's not a commission. Yes, it is a commission. What am I talking about? It's not a mural, technically, because it's on canvas. Um, Welcome back, Scooty. Can I call you Scooty? Yeah, it's commission. It's mural size, but this is stretched canvas. It is a big ass canvas. It's So I buy these canvases. I buy the canvas on a roll. The roll is 6 feet wide, and this one I think was 15 feet long. So I cut it down a little bit. So this is 5 feet wide and 13 feet long. Which it'll be the final size will be 4 foot by 12 feet. So it's about 1.5 meters by 3 meters, something like that, or 4 meters, 3.5 meters. I don't know. It's big. Yeah. So it is a commission. It's for an office building that's being built near here. So I'm gonna deliver it next week on Monday. So I have to get it done by this Monday. So it has a full week to be dry. Yeah, I'm so glad that you like it. I've been working on this thing for so long, and it's getting to where, like, it gets, you get tired of staring at the same thing for such a long time. Painting is what I do for a living. I do also teach art as an adjunct at a local college, but that's a part-time gig. It's nice to have that steady income. because commissions aren't always quite as steady. You have good months, you have not so good months. But I'm excited because if I deliver this on Monday, that means I probably get paid on Wednesday for it. And that's nice. Ooh, I'm getting paid next Wednesday. It's a chunk of change. All right, I need this to be grayer. 4 foot by 12 foot. It's not 8 foot by 12 foot. I don't know if the canvas rolls come in 6 feet. I don't know where I would get an 8 foot by 12 foot. Oh, I wish. That would be fantastic. If I did that, I'd have to make it on wood. Well, no, that's hard to find too. That's just too long. Too wide, I guess. Once you get that big, then you're into mural range and you have to actually paint it on the wall. I ran out of green paint. Eep. I just almost fell down. That would have been embarrassing. All right. Do. All right then. How intricate is the framing? So this is actually for a canvas that big to support it. I actually bought the wood to build the frame today. Just the wood for the frame costs about $300. It's gonna be solid oak. Yeah. So I'm actually gonna build it. Usually for smaller paintings, your stretcher bars can be taken apart. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking anything apart. So this is not going to be ever taken apart. That will not be possible. So I'm having a hard time getting this as dark as I want, man. So this one is just going to be it's going to be a pretty solid frame. But it needs to be because the amount of pressure that's going to be on this is intense once it's stretched. Hold on, I have to change my settings here for a second. I think I just heard something. What did I just hear? think I just heard something upstairs, but I'm the only one here. Let me check my... Don't love that. You think you just heard something? That's even more concerning. Well, I'm gonna go look upstairs. Is it my dog, maybe? I have some cameras in the house, so I'm gonna check those. But that's not less spooky because it's dark up there. No one in the living room. They might steal my expensive oak. No, that's in the garage. I don't see anyone in the kitchen. I don't think there's anyone here. But you guys heard something too? That creeps me out. I have to look. I have to look. Too scary. So, I will be right back. I've got a little slideshow for you to enjoy till I get... Alright. I don't know what I heard. Aw, dang it. Left my energy drink upstairs. Oh well, I have more. I'll open a new one. I don't know what I heard upstairs, but oh well. I found my dog, so that's cool. Hi, Hambina. What's that painting behind me? It looks scary? Oh, you mean this one? This one here? It's not scary, it's a little kid. Oh, yeah, I'm glad I was not murdered. I love being not murdered. But I did get my dog to come down here. I need you guys to not look at my floor, because when I'm painting, I use a lot of these rags. And then I throw them on the floor when I'm done. When I'm done with usually like once a week, I go through and pick everything up and throw it in the trash. How is that a kid? It looks like an owl. They're wearing a hood. It's like a Halloween-y type thing. I need to fix her face. Her face is a little so I do need to make some edits there. But I can show you what it is. Give me a second. I'm trying to figure out, once I finish this basement, I'm going to be... Oh, you're not talking about the basements one? Oh, you're talking about that one? The gorilla? That's actually not my painting. I didn't paint that. That was painted by a guy named Juko Hoods. He's a Ugandan artist. I bought that in Rwanda, and I brought it back. And I need to restretch it. I've had it here in the States for 5 years, and it's still not stretched. But I can show that to you. I'm trying to figure out a way to when I start working on the rest of this, I'm going to be moving around a lot. On my cord. And I don't want to have to move my cameras around. So I'm trying to figure out if I can clip this onto here. Is this a silly thing to do? And then you can kind of see what I look at. So I'm testing this to see if it works. It's really dumb, but we'll see. All right, we're gonna test it. That if I'm painting, I need a brush. What did I do with my brush? Oh, there it is. So, if I'm painting with this, you'll see what it is that I'm looking at. So, does this work? See, I feel ridiculous. Where was the color I was using? This one here. The problem is I can't actually see what you see. I can't see if this is what you see or not. Because if I look over here, then I'm not looking at this. I need to like turn my head. It is working, so I could just go with it. I feel like it's gonna end up being really jumpy and awful. But it's fun. I don't know. I need to figure out like you know what I have? I have a hard hat I can attach it to. No, but then I'll be wearing an even more ridiculous thing. It's not awful. You kind of like it. It's like you get to feel like you're painting. Oh, I gotta. It feels really creepy to me, but but anyway, my dog. Sorry, I'm moving around so much. Here, let me take this off of here. I think that's too ridiculous. I don't know if I can handle it. All right, but my dog did come hang out with me. I brought her bed down so that she'll hang out with me. She's in the zone. Do you want to say hi? That's her saying hi. Oh, doggo cam. I should put it on her head. Chenda, do you want to have a camera on your head? She's like, I know you're talking about me. I brought something down for her so that you can see the most excited doggo in the world. Do you want to see her at her most excited? Are you ready? Are you ready for the most excited dog in the world? I'm gonna give her a cookie. Chenda, do you want a cookie? Well, I'm gonna give you half a cookie. Don't be disappointed. Oh, I just got sprinkles all over me. So, she's getting a little older. You can see that her nose is losing its color. It used to be like, Chenda, Ichada. Oh, she wants to shake my hand. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna set the cookie down, but wait, Budete. Budete means wait. Budete. What are you doing? Oh, good girl. Good girl. Here you go. I'll give it to you. She doesn't like to take it without it being placed in her mouth. Isn't she just the most dainty dog in the world? She's like barely a dog, I think. Good girl. Alright, do you want some head pets? Head pets. Head pets. Ch-ch. You don't want your head pets? Come here. She's like, do you have more cookies? No, there's no baked cheese crackers either. Well, that's about as excited as she gets. Oh, good girl. Alright. You can lay back down. Oh, man. Alright, I'm gonna put this camera back away. So I don't know if I'm gonna try to put this thing on my head. I think that may be too much. Anyway, I'll go ahead and show you the gorilla painting over here. There we go. You see the signatures right here, Juco hoods. Pretty cool. I have another painting down here that normally isn't down here. This one right here. This is an older painting. This is a painting I did while I was in Rwanda. This is the host family that I lived with for 3 months while I was in Rwanda. So they were making, I think they're making peanut flour. There. Anyway, I'm gonna put this back over here. Yeah. Oh, you thought it was a picture. So that one I didn't paint. Oh, you thought that was a picture. Yeah, I did paint that one. When I was in Rwanda, I did one painting a month for 27 months. So I was in Rwanda for 27 months, and I did one painting a month. So I guess it took me a month. Painting in Rwanda was a lot harder because we didn't have things like reliable electricity. And which meant I was kind of like in certain seasons I'm dependent on the sun for light and when you're painting, it's like the sun's not great for light because sometimes it's too dark outside. So, especially during the rainy season. So during the rainy season, I would maybe get 3 hours a day that I had enough light to paint. And if I happened to have any other responsibility during those 3 hours, I didn't get to paint that day. So it took me a lot longer to paint there. But yeah, that was our host family. Their names are Fils and Desiree and Lily. And we lived at their house for 3 months. And they taught us a lot of things. They taught me how to cook on a little charcoal stove. It's called imbabura. And they taught me how to bathe with a bucket without taking your clothes off. I still don't quite understand that concept. That I don't know. Americans get naked when they bathe. Rwandans don't. They never get naked. I don't know how it works exactly. I mean, I've seen people bathe with their shorts on. It's possible without taking your clothes off. I remember once we stayed with the family, we just stayed the night, and I was like, I'm gonna go take a shower. Like, I have my towel, and like, and they're like, do you have bathing shorts? I'm like, no, I don't. I will be naked. And they just looked at me like, oh, that is not normal. I was like, well, America. But then they also taught us how to, like, because it's pretty common to have concrete floors. So they taught us how to cook, but then we learned that, like, when you're eating and you have, like, you peel your banana and you eat it, you just throw your banana in the floor because you just squeegee everything out the door at the end of the day. But we actually, at our house, sometimes you get those camping shower bags that you're supposed to set up in the sun for them to warm up and then use those. We didn't set it in the sun. We had like a line on it that we knew that we had drawn with a Sharpie. If we fill it with cold water up to that line, and then we boil 1 kettle of water and pour that in, it's the perfect amount for us both to take a warm shower. And we would do that. We had like a pulley system that we could raise it up into our little shower room, and we could take a shower. So, I don't think you're meant to use those every day. I think they're supposed to be like once a year, use it for camping. But we have learned you can use one every day for about 1 year, and then it starts to get weird and gross, and then you need to get a new one. So for our 2 years there, we used 2 shower bags. It worked. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. America, the land of the free and naked. I mean, that's true. That is true. Not untrue. Like the time the naked guy came in my house. Land of the free and naked. Usually we wear clothes. But yeah, I love that host family. They were great. The mom was named Mama Selena. And the grandfather also lived with us. His name was Papa Francois. But Papa Francois was a cultured man. Ultra favela? No. This is the Zero Ultra, but they've had it for a long time. It's amazing. 10 out of 10. All right, I will look out for it. It's quality stuff right here. I have a kind of energy drink that I like that is not quite as unhealthy. But I used to get it at the grocery store down the street, but the grocery store shut down because of COVID. they opened back up today. Is their first day open. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to make a run down there because I'm all out of eggs. And get some better energy drinks. But I did get these ones from the hardware store. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what else they taught me. Oh, they taught me how to dance. Well, they tried to teach me how to dance. They taught me that everyone dances a little different. And as long as everyone's dancing, no one feels silly. Because no one's paying attention to you if they're paying attention to themselves. But yeah, I did do 27 of those paintings. I have all 27 on my computer, but I haven't actually photoshopped them, even though it was 5 years ago. I haven't posted them all. So if you want to see all 27 paintings that I made in Rwanda, I could show them to you. And you'll be the first people to see them. You'll be the first people to see them. I only have 21 out of 27 photoshopped and color corrected. So the last 6 you'll have to see it. They'll look kind of dull. All right, so let's do this. Let's look at some awesome. You know what I'm gonna do? I need to get in the habit of doing this. I have Streamlabs on my phone, so I can. There we go. So I can do the transitions without. Let's see. I want to go to scene 2. And then it is this one. So that is the first one that you saw that's hanging on over there. So this on the left is Lily. She's doing some laundry. No, she's not. She's washing dishes. Feast here is probably telling jokes because that's what he always did. And then on the right is Desiree. And Desiree is sifting peanut flour. So he crushed peanuts and then he's sifting it through a mesh to make peanut flour right there. So our first month we were in training. So this is my wife and I with our teacher. His name was Sam. And just looking at this painting, I can smell Sam. Remember what he smelled like? It was a very small room and it was very hot. But anyway, not hot in a good way, but like bad hot. It wasn't that hot, but we had 8 hours a day of language and culture training. So this is a painting of that. So this is my wife and I doing our best. And I painted this at the end of training, at the end of our 3 months of training, as a big hurrah that we've made it through training. It was Thanksgiving. We had a big Thanksgiving celebration. We cooked eight turkeys. We grilled them in a barbecue pit overnight, and they were pretty good. I remember because we're gonna have a big Thanksgiving celebration. We invited our Rwandan counterparts. Our host families all came. It was basically just a big giant party that the Peace Corps volunteers cooked for everyone. And we're like, oh, we'd love to have turkey because it does happen to, the end of our training did happen to land on Thanksgiving. So we're like, we'd love to do turkeys. So our program director was like, I'll bring you turkey tomorrow for you to cook. We're like, all right. We were excited. He brought So he shows up in a truck. He opens the trunk. And he has 8 live turkeys, and he's like, "Here are your turkeys." I'm like, oh no. But you know, we figured it out. So this was after that meal. What are just all of the food eaten. And then the next month we moved into our village, and so it was our first time just being alone in 3 months. Um, and these were just some birds from our backyard. We had a fence that was made out of bamboo that was always falling down. But yeah, so this is a firefinch, is the little bird. Yeah. Yeah, disassembly. Man, we worked hard on those turkeys. So the firefinch is the little bird, and the big one is a oh, what are they called? I can't think of what they're called. Moses used them to catch snakes. They are the god Thoth has the head of one. It is an ibis. That's what it's called. So the ibises were the biggest birds that would come in our backyard, and the firefinches were super tiny. This was at an event. One of our students. These are all of our students. There was kind of a student assembly, and he was performing. So this is called Inhore. It's a kind of traditional dance. So he dresses like this to dance, but he was actually doing spoken word. Very impassioned. I didn't know anything that he was saying. So I asked another student, what is he saying? What's he talking about? And they told me he was praising the accomplishments of his cows. So cows are huge in Rwandan culture. So yeah, he's talking about how great his cows are and how they've increased and brought him great wealth. Oh, that's my dog. We actually got her in Rwanda, so this was our 3rd month at site is when we officially adopted her. She became my dog. I also learned to play guitar in Rwanda because I was teaching music, and it was the only instrument that I had access to. Because I play the piano, but I had to learn the guitar so I could teach music. So this is to represent when we adopted Chenda. Well, she adopted us. She wouldn't leave us alone. So this is a picture of Lake Chivu. We lived about 20 minutes from Lake Chivu. This was the view from the hotel that we would go hang out at. The hotel was called Home St. John, and it has like a 270-degree view of the lake. It's kind of on this like not peninsula, this thing that juts out into the lake that you can see the lake all around. It's a gorgeous place. But there, across the lake from here is the Congo. This is the Chivu region of the Congo, and I made this painting. I was reading a book at the time. The book was what was that book? Half the Sky was the name of the book, and the premise of the book is that half the sky is held up by women. Is the quote that it's from? But it's a book about how women are treated in the world. It's a great book if you want to learn about women's rights and different efforts around the world. But I read in that the Chivu region of the Congo is the absolute worst place for women's rights. It is the world capital of rape and murder. So, but we were just right across the river, chilling at because I remember when I read that, I was actually at Home St. John, and I'm like, wait, the most horrible place in the world to be a woman is right over there. It's kind of terrifying, and humbling. This is a student of ours. His name was Patrick. His name is Patrick. I don't know why I said was. he came and lived with us for a while. He had death threats against his family. He had death threats against him because of his race. He wasn't able to go home, so he lived with us during the holidays, which is normal there for a student to live with the teacher. It's not normal here. So he just, yeah, we got really close with him. In fact, our son, Finley, his name is Finley Patrick and Aishimiye Weaver. His first middle name is after this student. And the purple in the background, the purple and gray, are the colors of the remembrance of the genocide. So Patrick was 5 years old during the Rwandan genocide. I was 6. So I was thinking a lot about his position in the world versus my position in the world, and just the only real difference is that he was born there, I was born here, and I was born with white skin and he was born with black skin. And that's the difference between a life and a life of pretty much an easy life, and a life that is pretty awful. Yeah, I don't want to get too much into his history, but it's nuts. All right, this is Chenda's puppies that she had. She had 8 puppies. Only 4 of them survived because she didn't produce enough milk. She did have 1 litter of puppies before we got her spayed. They were cute. So this is, on the left is Tima, and on the right is Voka, which means heart and avocado. All right, so we did this big spaying and neutering campaign. So that's me there. I was helping out. I was catching wild dogs for a while we had a vet that came out from the Capitol and spayed and neutered dogs, and we vaccinated and spayed and neutered as many dogs as we could. So here on the right, you can see the 2 people that it's their dog that's on the table there. And then Patrick was helping me, so that's me behind the vet and Patrick there on the left. So in our village, we would frequently walk by this. These are some taxi drivers. They drive moto taxis. And this tree here was a giant eucalyptus tree. It's Ibiti Bimana Byabagori, which is the tree of the god of women. And in Rwandan tradition, women, when they wanted to become pregnant, would go to this tree. It would be a tree of power. But when we left Rwanda, they were getting ready to cut this tree down to remove it. I can't tell if... I'm gonna just check real quick. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any comments, because everyone's pretty quiet right now. So yeah, this tree, Ibiti Bimana Byabagore, we walked by it every day on our way to school. We were really sad that they were going to be cutting it down. And I did make the coats here, the 3 coats. They would hang their coats on the tree, on some nails that were in the tree. But I made them the colors of the Pan-African flag. They have been seen once. They were in a show. In 2016, I had these in a show, and most of them sold from the show. So I don't own any of the paintings. I just have the images. This is just a still life of some different things that were around that we had, that we would see all the time. That's some different flowers. We actually brought seeds of this red flower on the top right. I brought a bunch of those seeds home, and we grow them in our backyard now. They're the seeds from our plant that was in our yard in Rwanda. I actually have those bulbs down here in the basement. I need to take them outside. And then those are some weaver bird nests. So there was a big weaver bird colony about 20 minutes from our house. And weaver birds, drop their nests a lot. So under the tree that they nest in, you can see all of these nests are there. So I collected a couple of them. I brought one of these nests I brought home with me. So we have one of these weaver bird nests we have upstairs. This is the roof. So that student Patrick, we went and visited his family. We visited his mom. His dad's in prison. His older brothers are in prison. But we visited his mom, and they were way, 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 way out there. We took 20 minutes on a bus, and then I think it was like 4 or 5 hours on a ferry, and then a couple of hours on another bus, and then we took, I think it was like about an hour on a moto taxi to go up the mountain, and then it got too steep for the moto taxi and we had to walk the rest of the way. So this is really, really, really remote. But when we got there, this is the roof of his mother's house. And I remember, and it's fallen down since then. It just doesn't exist anymore. But I remember being kind of struck by the look of it. I love the way it looks, but there's also something very sad about it. And yeah. There's something else I was going to say about this one. Oh yeah, and when we went there, it's their custom in Rwanda. If someone visits you, you feed them. No matter who they are, no matter how long they're staying, you're going to make them a full meal if anyone visits you. Which, when we visited Patrick's family, they actually took out a loan to buy food for us to eat. And we're just like, oh my goodness, we can't. And it took us, the trip was like 3 days to get there. And we stayed for about an hour. That's as long as we could stay. Because it wasn't safe for Patrick to stay there. Yeah, but yeah. This is a vervet monkey in Nyungwe. I remember snapping a photo of this monkey when it was when we were eating. We were eating breakfast. Nyungwe is one of the national parks in Rwanda. They have two, Nyungwe and Akagera. They're both the two big parks, and we only ever went to them when we had visitors. So one of Kirsten's friends came and visited from the States. And that's when we went to Nyungwe. So one of the projects that we did was GLOW camps. GLOW and B camps. GLOW stands for Girls Leading Our World, which was a women's gender empowerment camp. So this is a couple of the girls that was in our GLOW camp. We had my wife led GLOW Club. I led B camp, which was B Club, which was boys excelling. But we had during one of the breaks, we had week-long camps that they would take students from the whole western region of Rwanda, and they came to our school, and we did leadership training, essentially, with them. And they were playing, it's their version of Sharks and Minnows. They were playing It's Lions and Zebras. So she was being a lion, and I remember this student. I can't remember her name, but I remember she was a very shy and timid girl at the beginning of this camp, and I remember she really changed a lot in the time that we were there, and it was really cool to watch. But this is her becoming a lion. And this is when we went to Akagera. We saw an elephant, a big bull elephant. But man, those things are good at hiding. You wouldn't think that elephants can hide, but they really can. And so we saw this big old elephant, and we had a driver, and we see this elephant, and Kirsten's like, I have to get a picture of it. And so she jumps out of the car to get a picture of this elephant. and everyone's yelling at her to get back in the car. And she's like, "Oh, it's fine. They're so big. They're so big that I'm sure they're so slow for it to even just turn to face me. By that time, I'd be back in the car." And our driver's like, "They are not slow." And informed us that if an elephant charged and you were out of the car, the driver would leave you to be mauled by the elephant to save the car. I'm like, okay, all right, good to know. This was a guy that lived in the next town over. His name was Emmanuel. He used to come to our house sometimes and play the guitar for us. And he had this old handmade guitar. It was a funny looking thing. And Kirsten's parents came and visited us. And my father-in-law, he has a recording studio. He's a musician. He plays guitar. And he came to our house and played some songs. And after he left our house, my father-in-law was like, "I want to buy him a guitar," because he just thought it was so cool that he played the guitar. And he's like, he didn't understand how he could make music with the guitar he had. So we went to the Capitol, and my father-in-law bought the best guitar that you can buy in Rwanda. And so we surprised him with it. We walked to Manuel's house and gave him the guitar. So this was him playing it after he got it. So this is in the capital of in Kigali, and at the bus stop. The bus stop is called Nabagogo, and I kind of like when you get in the village, it's a one place, and then the capital is like a whole nother place entirely. The culture is the culture is still Rwandan culture, but it's just it has a very different feel. So it's very active. While the village is really slow paced, the city is active and corporate, and it's a city feel. I do have the woman here. That has a baby with the umbrella. She would have the towel that's over her would be going over a baby that's on her back, and she has the umbrella to shade the baby. And we found out in some regions of Rwanda, it is not acceptable to use an umbrella to shield yourself from the sun unless you are pregnant or have a baby. And we learned that once when Kirsten was using an umbrella, and the village chief got mad and made her stop using it. But she's like, "Oh, but I'm gonna get burned if I don't use this umbrella." But and the capital bus was the bus that we would take to our village. There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of cultural things. Like, you can't eat food outside, you can't drink anything outside, you can't drink standing up, you can't wear shorts in public unless you're doing sport. But there's a lot of rules that pregnant women are allowed to break. They can eat outside, they can sit on the ground, they can have the fabric head wrap that's on her head. That's only mothers can wear that. There's certain fabrics that only parents can wear. There's a lot of rules. It's just part of their culture. It's something that took a little time to get used to. Because we're like, "Oh, I want to have a picnic," but if you put a blanket out on the ground and ate food on it, it'd be the talk of town. They're like, "Oh, they're crazy." Paraguay. So this is one of the girls. My wife had an after-school. My wife had an after-school reading club, and so every day after school, they would. We had these little books that we had 30 copies of each one, and the kids would come and they would all read books together, read little books together. So she had once a week, she had a reading club, and once a week I had a art club. We went on vacation only one time while we were there. After we were there a year, because our first year at site, we were in Rwanda for the 20th anniversary of the genocide. It's a really heavy week to be in Rwanda. It's very emotionally and socially intense. So we were there for the 20th anniversary. The second year, we decided during that week to go on vacation. So we went to Tanzania, and we went to Zanzibar, and we just hung out on the beach in Zanzibar for a week. And so this is just some kids playing on the beach in Zanzibar, throwing sand at each other. This is just some the way they farm on hillsides. It's just a gorgeous country. It's beautiful. Everything grows so easily and everything grows so fast. They have 3 growing seasons a year versus America's 1 growing season a year. And that's the end of the ones I have photoshopped. So we have to finish it up with these duller versions that still need to be corrected. We live next to, so this is a cute cow, a little skinny, but we live. It's a little bit sad. We live next door to a slaughterhouse, and so they would slaughter a cow every morning. But our next door neighbor would care for the cows when they are going to be slaughtered. So they would have them in their yard and feed them, because the cows sometimes would be coming from farther away, and people are coming and they're like, well, I'm going to bring 3 cows instead of just 1 and then have to come back tomorrow. So they would kind of be boarded at my next door neighbor's house. So we would have these cows that would come and be there for a couple days, and then they wouldn't be there anymore. And then it'd be a little, yeah. All right, so Emmanuel with the guitar that my father-in-law bought the guitar for. This is his wife and his son, Jonathan. Yeah, with my wife, obviously. So this painting here and the one with Emmanuel and his guitar, my in-laws actually bought both of those. So they own them. Whoa, a lot of things are being said. These pictures are really nice. What does Sihabank mean? Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. Honestly, I just don't actually want to talk about this one. But it's cute. I forgot I painted this. I'm just gonna move along. So this is handball. Again, that is our student Patrick. When we first met him, we actually called him Socks because he always wore crazy socks. And after he started to live with us, we ordered some socks from the United States so he could have these American flag socks. But my students in my that were in the art club, we made hand-painted greeting cards using egg tempera. So we made paint out of eggs every week and painted greeting cards, and then we sold them to tourists. And so they raised a bunch of money during the year. A lot of it went to buying more art supplies and fully stocking the art building, the art room at the school. But some of them they had some money left over. And so I asked them, well, it's your club. I asked the president of the art club, what do you guys want to do with the money? And they wanted to have a handball tournament, a school-wide handball tournament. So, and then they had a big ceremony with a big meal, a big potluck, not potluck, melange, which is um, a big all-you-can-eat meal. And so this was their end of the year handball tournament that they paid for with the art money. They had prizes for the winners, cash prizes actually, which is pretty great. But yeah, Patrick was really good at handball. We actually, the first time we met him was actually he got injured playing handball, and we were the only ones that had a med kit. So we brought him to our house, got him hydrated, and helped him out with his ankle. And that's how we met him the first time. These were all great students, man. I miss them. This is one of the market mamas. This is the lady that we bought our tomatoes from. She was intense. I wouldn't mess with her. The market mamas are awesome. They're like everybody's mamas, and you get to know them really well because you see them every day. Like, I mean, we would go to the market every single day to buy our food for the day. So you get tomatoes, avocados, onions, Irish things. Oh, and this is the last one. The 27th month was the month we came back to St. Louis. So this was the first thing I painted when we came back to St. Louis. Of just the end of Peace Corps, coming back to the States, and just the different feel of it, and it was weird, really, really weird coming back. Because it seems like, we had started to really get used to and built this life in Rwanda. We were there just long enough to get really comfortable, and then suddenly we're back here, and everything is so fast paced, and everything is weird, and just everything is so different. So yeah, this is the last one. It was definitely more jarring coming back than anticipated. It was, in some ways, that was a much harder transition than going there. Because we came back, and then we came back right at Thanksgiving time, because obviously we started our service around Thanksgiving, so we came home around Thanksgiving. So like the second week that we were home, we went to like this big Thanksgiving event, and just the amount of food and just seeing people, parents, the amount of parents, the stuff that they have for babies, and just like all of the stuff. There's so much stuff, and it just is crazy. All right, sorry you gotta scoot. I'll see you later. I'll probably still be streaming whenever you come back, if it's anytime soon. But that's the end of that one. All right, I need to get back to this thing here. Cool. That was a fun hiatus. All right. Well, you're welcome. I enjoy telling stories. I haven't looked at those paintings in a while. I need to finish photoshopping them so I can... I was thinking about making a little art book of them. Because it's like they're all... I mean, I sold, at my show opening, that one day, I sold 14 paintings. And so it'd be nice to either get them printed or have a book that has like a little write-up about each one. they really do appreciate motherhood and children. It's super important. Like, there's nothing more respectful or honorable than being a mother. Like, motherhood is its own class of person that is just far above everyone else, and it's magic. Women are magic, but we don't have that here in the States. We don't celebrate women like we should. My wife would definitely tell you that I became a much better husband in Rwanda. I'm sure I'm also a better father because of Rwanda. Um, their understanding of family is amazing. And the respect that they have is amazing. But yeah, I also, because it's like I learned how to cook in Rwanda. I started cooking every day. I didn't before we went there. My wife did the majority of the cooking. Now she hardly ever cooks. No, she cooks sometimes. I shouldn't say she hardly ever cooks, but I really enjoy it, and she doesn't. So it's like, whoa, why didn't I ever cook before? I know, gender stereotypes. But yeah, we still miss it sometimes. We still think like, man, should we just move back to Rwanda? Because just living in Rwanda with a American salary would be awesome. Maybe. I would have some cool streams if we did. We'll just go outside. How would you get the American salary, though? Teaching college courses online. Same thing I'm doing now. What I would have to do, though, so I would want to sell paintings, but most paintings are sold to tourists. Ain't no tourists want to go to Rwanda and buy a painting from me. So I have some artist friends there that I would probably be like, hey Sam, this is a different Sam. You can have I don't know, 20% of anything you sell if you sell my paintings under your name. Or better yet, find someone that I would need to do some trickery. Is that bad? Is that unethical? But the gorilla painting that I have behind me, I actually got. No, I would never do that. After training, you get a move-in allowance. You get a move-in allowance that to buy furniture and stuff when you get to your house. As a married couple, we got 2 move-in allowances. So we used one of them to buy that gorilla painting. So, at the time that I bought that gorilla painting that's behind me, the amount of money that I spent was all of the money that I had in the world. It's a little steep. But we had it. It was great to have art on our wall for the 2 years that we were there. Honestly, what I would probably do is open an art school in the capital. But honestly, I mean, the cost of living there is so cheap. We've thought about retiring there. Although by the time we retire, it won't be quite so cheap. Hopefully. If it's still just as cheap, then development's not going well. There should be more stuff in here, but I don't really want to put it there. Well, I'm already going to be mixing gourd colors, so I'll just add some gourds. Never have too many gourds, right? Good corner gourd. The white spaces between the basements just aren't painted yet. So once I finish this basement, I'm going to come in and paint all of that. That's the next thing that I'm going to do. And I should get all of that painted black tonight. And then I'll work on... I will add some things to them. I'll add some, like, what the wall is doing, what the wall looks like, and maybe get some plumbing, some pipes, things like that. Whatever would be there. I'm not going to go too crazy with it, but there will be some things added. Well, we'll see. We'll see if I get too crazy with it. I might get too crazy with it. I have a tendency to do that. But yeah, I want it to just... I don't want it to be too much. Oh, I forgot there's a lamp right here. Honestly, I'm getting to the point in this painting that what I really need to do is just start looking at the painting holistically. What are the things that are really standing out that need fixed? Address those first and work my way down. What's the idea behind the painting? The painting's largely about the changing nature of commerce and how more and more people are working from home and how entrepreneurship is becoming, well, it's always been kind of an in-home thing, but the tools for doing that are more accessible. So there's more and more people that aren't going into work, and that means that they need a home workspace. And here in St. Louis, that tends to be the basement. I know a lot of people that work out of their base are running small businesses out of their basements. So this is kind of showing that. So like a whole underground culture of entrepreneurship. And so that's why it's all these houses from all over St. Louis, people of different ages, different ethnic backgrounds, different income levels, but all kind of doing some kind of economic activity in their basements. Yeah. So some of these houses, like this one here, that's like at least $1 million home, probably about $5 million home, compared to that one on the end is probably a $30,000 home. Gideon and Soren would like to know what that guy is working on. That guy, Doug Weaver. Hi, Gideon and Soren. I'm working on a painting. So, let's see. Gideon and Soren are some people I know in real life friends. So this is the painting. This is what it looks like. And yeah. This makes me want to buy some more gourds. All right, thanks for hanging out, Spudzer. I'll be streaming for another, it's 10, 5 hours? And then tomorrow, I'll stream some more. There's a good chance I'll stream the next day as well. So, Hambina, I don't know if have I had my first Twitch paycheck yet? I don't even know how that works. I haven't thought about it at all. So, how do you get paid? I feel like that's something I need to learn. Is there a place to see that? I know I've set up something once. But I don't know. How does that work? You know what? I don't have time to think about it. I did the contract, I don't know, months ago. A while back. Okay. That makes sense. Honestly, I have not thought about it at all. And yeah. I'm just that would be pretty cool. I will definitely have a celebration when that happens. Yeah. I did maybe finagle another neighbor. Gideon asked, what I'll be doing for my next painting. I have one started. already, but and I can show it, but it has a bit of nudity, so that's up to you. It's one that I started before I got this commission, and then I had to put it aside because I'm working on this, and I would love to come back to it. But it's a painting of Mother Earth personified, but I made it kind of an Eve type figure in a nature setting. So she's surrounded by plants and animals that are endangered due to climate change. And so that's what I would work on next. I would like to work on next. I also would like to start making some jewelry, so I have that lined up. I'm probably gonna, hopefully when I get done with this, I can get into kind of a schedule where, ooh, thanks, Ambina. Oh yeah, you maybe yeah, it's been there for a long time. Which I haven't been very active on my Patreon lately. I've just been doing this. This is all I've had time to think about. But I do plan on getting a lot more illustration stuff up on there. I tend to talk on there a little bit more on like potential projects, planning projects, sketches of things. Which I looked up today. There's a call for entries that the Missouri History Museum has put out a call for entry. They would like illustrations of, they want line drawing illustrations of St. Louis historic architecture. They're going to be digital illustrations that they're then going to blow up and print. Well, I mean, they'll be large image files. They will be printed on dry erase boards so that people can color them with dry erase markers. So they're going to have a show with these giant walls that have basically giant coloring book pages of St. Louis architecture. And I think it sounds awesome. And I'm definitely going to apply for it because that's so close to what I'm doing right now. They want them to be all set together in kind of a composition, exactly like this. So, but just line drawings. And I'm like, that is so much easier than what I'm doing right now. That like my concept sketches that I submitted for this painting are exactly what they're wanting for their finished product for the project. So I'm definitely going to apply for that. And yeah. So, and it just so happens that the laptop I have cannot handle file sizes that large for Photoshop files, but my new laptop that I ordered on Thursday will be able to handle it. So it seems meant to be. But I mean, there are architectural drawings, architects in St. Louis that would also be their kind of thing. So who knows? But I think I have a shot at it. If I did get it, it would be doing 50 digital drawings. It's 20 commercial buildings and 30 residential buildings. So it's two separate murals. But they're going to be, the finished products are going to be about 2 meters tall and 2 meters wide per house, per building. So it'll be massive, which is very exciting. I'm excited, even if I don't get picked. I'm excited to go and participate in it. The show won't be until 2022, I think. I'm painting the wrong thing. I'm supposed to be painting this. So the show won't be until they obviously can't have the show until things open up to where people can touch things. But yeah, it sounds really cool. I ended up deciding, because I had thought about applying. There was a mural that the airport was taking entries for a mural, but I decided not to apply for that because I just don't have the time. But this digital project sounds fun. Do I have an online shop? I don't. Hambina, I am the worst. You can't find my paintings on my website. I'm the worst salesman in the entire world. I am not a businessman. I'm really just the worst, you know? And it really is because I spend almost all of my time on commissions that I already have. So it makes it hard to take the time to set up a shop for things like prints and stickers, which I do plan once I finish this one to get some prints going. Because that last painting that I did, the Basilica painting, I need to make prints of it because it's just the detail on it is too. I spent too much time on it to be able to sell it for what it's worth. So it's one that if I don't make prints, I won't. I'll have lost money on it. I'd like to get paid for my hundreds of hours of work. Honestly, I really should I need to hire a business manager. I think my problem is that I just want to paint pictures. I don't want to do anything else. Oh, for, updating things like website stuff and building a store and making prints and getting prints packaged and mailed and communication with clients, all of that stuff that I'm not good at. I would love it if all I had to do is just paint and do nothing else. Yeah, I know. make that sound like such an easy thing. Some things are hard for me to do. Oops. I feel like these are things that I'll get better at over time. As I learn how to split my time better. Some of it right now is just like between teaching and parenting and painting, it's hard to find time for much that isn't like, it's hard to find time that's not already accounted for. I know that's an excuse, but it's a pretty good one. I might try to do that sometimes when I'm teaching class. I have downtime while students are drawing. That sometimes it's good to have something that will distract me from looking over their shoulders too much. So maybe I could do that. Are you laughing at managing my social media during class? Well, there are skills that I have, and then there's skills that I just don't have. And being organized is one that I don't have. Like I'm gonna be honest. I pay a fee almost every year because I don't get our taxes filed on time. Because I'm just bad at managing my time. Same thing goes for, you know, car registration. I just did get our cars registered. The day I actually got everything done the week before, but then I forgot to actually go online and pay for the registration. And so I actually did it the day after it was due and had to pay the fee. I don't know. I'm just, you know, I'm good at painting. That's my skill, the one that I have. What's up, girl? Do you need another cookie? I think she needs another cookie. It's the only way I can get her to stay down here. I gotta bribe her with cookies. That's how I keep all my friends. Have I ever done? Let's see. Was it so? It was that other. For some reason, I thought that was you. It was you and someone else that were talking, but I couldn't remember. For some reason, I thought it was you. I don't know. It makes more sense for it to be that other person. Oh, what was their name? I don't remember. Have you ever done collaboration pieces with musicians? Have you ever collaborated with a musician? No, I haven't. I think that sounds fun. Okay, I'm sorry I accused you of it. I was joking about you not being trustworthy, but oh man, his name is Crown something. Ooh, album covers would be really cool. That sounds fun. I should ask Justin Raw if he wants me to do an album cover. Because I love his music. I did paint a guitar once for a client. The same client that bought the same client that bought what did they buy? The Colorado Springs painting. They had me paint a guitar for them, a bass guitar with downtown St. Louis at night on it. It's pretty cool. I like having my dog down here with me. Chenda, do you want some chips? You want some chip crumbs? These are gonna go stale if someone doesn't eat them, so you might as well eat them. Ugh. All right. I need to paint her ankles. She doesn't have any. What's she gonna do with no ankles? Oh, she also has a gourd in her hands. Obviously she needs to be holding a gourd. What am I thinking? So there's an artist. Ooh, I just got a text that says I have a $130 Amazon rewards credit. That's spam, right? It's definitely spam. So there's a German expressionist. What was his name? He's dead now. Oh, he has a name. It starts with a W, so it starts with a V. Part of the Blue Riders group. Now it's gonna drive me crazy. I'll Google it. It's probably the first thing that's gonna come up when I type in German expressionist. No, it's not. Oh, because he's part of the Blue Riders, not. There he is, Vasily Kandinsky. That's who it is. Kandinsky used to make paintings based on music. He would listen to symphonies, different things, and then make paintings based on the way the music made him feel. He had a lot of theories about like the spirituality of music and how one color would relate to one note. How one color, you could have a color that relates to tonality. So this color is a minor chord color, and this color is a major chord color, things like that. But then also like spiritual significance given to specific notes, but then also specific colors. So yeah, Kandinsky. What color do I imagine when I think of the number 5? Yellow ochre. 5 is a yellow color. Interesting. 4 is blue, so let's see what. That's an interesting. That's weird. I don't know. 3 is red. 2 seems green. Strange. Almost everyone said red. Oh, so I'm the weirdo. I'm the weirdo freak. Which is weird that I picked yellow because I'm not a big fan of the color yellow. Maybe it's because 5 it makes me think of a star, and stars make me think of yellow. Possibly. Let's see. It could also be that right after you asked me what color the number 5 should be, I looked at you made Pikachu. And Pikachu was yellow. You may have influenced my decision. I'll ask myself again tomorrow. See if it's changed. Yeah, your name also is yellow. See, I didn't know if your name was actually yellow or if it was just yellow for me. It's actually yellow? You can like change your name color? Maybe when I think of Hambina, I think of the color yellow. I don't. That's not what I think of. I think of the place where I dance. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. Gave her a weird cankle. I see. So is there a benefit to streaming for a very long time? Because I think like I'm starting to feel like I need to take a little break soon. When you take a break, is it good to just leave your stream going or to leave and start a new stream? How does that work? You should probably sleep so you can sleep earlier tomorrow. Sounds like a good idea. I'm not going to go to sleep for a while. I can't go to sleep at least until I finish my energy drink. Okay. What? The police called you and said you have to go? You have to go to the police on Monday and you're excited? That doesn't sound exciting. That sounds scurry. Is that a thing? The police telling you to just go to the police? Why? Don't go. I would. I'm not. There's no way I'd go to the police station if I don't know why I'm going. It doesn't matter if you know that you haven't done anything wrong. That ain't right. That seems fishy. I'd be like, you gotta tell me what I'm coming in for. I ain't coming in. I don't know. That's how they get you. See, I don't know anything about Germany police, but I know I know here if they're wanting to ask you questions about something, you're better to have them come to you because you can tell them to leave. Get you how? I don't know. I don't trust the police. Because that's not normal. It's not normal for the police just to be like, oh, you got to come in and answer some questions. I mean, what would they need to have you come in for? That doesn't make any sense. Unless you, I don't know. You don't think that seems weird? To have no idea what they want you to go in for? I mean, it could be that like there was a murder in your building. Maybe there was a murder in your building. Then it's cool, not cool. But then it seems like exciting. I mean, you can just not go. That's an option, right? I don't know. My brother always gave me the advice that if they want you to go to the police station, if the police want you to go to the police station, you don't have to go. And you just don't. And what he always said is, if the police want to arrest you, if they have enough evidence to, they will. If they don't have enough evidence, then they'll want to ask you a bunch of questions to get you to say something incriminating so that they can arrest you. And the best thing to do is just don't go. I'm not saying that they want to arrest you, but they might. It's like, I don't know, they can't even tell you, like, the kind of thing that it is they want you to come in for. I feel like it's not that weird to be like, why? Is it something that can't be done over Zoom? I mean, I get it, but I don't know, being an immigrant seems even scarier to me. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm not helping your confidence. And honestly, I don't know what the difference is between American police and German police are. I just know I would personally not go unless they told me what it was for. Except they don't just shoot people. Well, ours do. Not all the time. Just quite frequently, though. Yeah. I mean, it's probably fine. Maybe they just like maybe they just watched your stream and they were like, I need some advice on this Ratatouille game. I just can't seem to find the recipes I need. I have a friend here in St. Louis that it was crazy. He participated in protests, and some police officers recognized him, and so he went in to pay some city taxes, and so he went into the courthouse, and they gave him a hard time the police did when he was like they searched him, and like he expressed his frustration and they arrested him, and they just charged him with acts of terror. And it's kind of like, well, it wouldn't hold up in trial, but they can charge him with it, and they can put him in jail for as long as they want. And in the States, terrorism charges are one of the only things that they can hold you indefinitely without a trial. So it was a mess. So they, like, his whole house was searched, and when he was like, so he lost his job because he was in jail, so he lost his income, and his wife couldn't afford to pay the mortgage, so they lost everything. And oh yeah, that actually does seem like something that could be, if they're wanting to um at least even just question you about this other person that they're apparently looking for. But man, it's scary stuff. I hate when my house makes sounds and I'm the only one here. That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. And it could even just be that, like, oh, they're looking for someone. They're like, okay, do you know anything about this? And you're like, no, I don't know anything about it. That, like, them wanting to make sure you're not hiding a person. So how long is your visa for? It's because are you on a student visa? Oh yeah, it does seem weird that they wouldn't just come by. See, that's what I think is weird about the whole thing. Like, what is it? Why do you have to go in there to talk to them? Why can't someone just? They're always out and about. Hmm. We're so close. And are you wanting to stay in Germany? Forever? Ooh, Canada. If you move to Canada, then I'll have to drive up. We can hang out. Why don't you want to move to America? That's a joke. I have some theories as to why. Canada is nice. I remember when we visited Toronto, and it did seem very much like a place where it would be much easier to be an immigrant. Seems like a very friendly place. I'm not sure Missouri would be the best option. Right, not an upgrade. You are banned from visiting the US. Right. I don't want to think about that person. Just the worst person. Oh goodness, don't tease me. She can't run yet. She's not old enough. I think she can run in the next election. And I am voting for her anytime she runs. She doesn't even have to run. I might just throw her a vote. I'm just kidding. I can throw my vote away. But haven't you heard? She's a socialist. Communist even. She believes in such evil things as healthcare. I'm with you. I live in the great state that gave us Josh Hawley. I'm just hoping that you don't know who Josh Hawley is. She is making an impact, and it's scaring the right people, and empowering. I mean, in the primaries, I voted for Bernie Sanders. It just didn't pan out. Yeah, you saw him in CPAC. You watched CPAC? Sounds awful. I would never. That's like... It's like the Jerry Springer of politics. They had a samurai? Oh dear. Oh, okay. It was... That's one of those things that you don't even have to do anything to make fun of it. It's just, it makes fun of itself. It's just... See, I think part of the reason I don't watch it is because I experience enough of that all the time that I just don't want to see it when I don't have to. It's like this. See, I feel like something weird happened this last election cycle. It's just like Donald Trump doesn't make sense to me. I have seen more flags for Donald Trump than for any president ever. Like, so many flags everywhere. And it's like, for one, waving a flag for a person isn't normal. It's not normal here for sure. Like, a presidential candidate's flag just seems weird to me. And it's like, for the people that like him, he was like a lot of America's favorite president of all time. And I don't get it. It's so bizarre. Because I just don't understand why people like him. Wait, he said Mexico is better than Oklahoma? Oof. I mean, isn't Oklahoma a Republican state? With the exception of the reservation area? Ugh. If any of those Trump kids run for president, I need to make it clear to the family members in our lives that if another Trump gets elected, then there's a good chance we're going to choose to not continue being in this country. It ain't worth it. I don't want to go through another 4 years of that. Like, that was just the social tax that it took. Mm-mm. I don't get it. But I mean, also, Mexico is lovely. I mean, that's not to like. Great weather. Great food. No Donald Trump. I'm down. I don't know. What I do know is, of all the things in the world I want to talk about right now, Ted Cruz is not even on the list. I try not to think about that man as much as possible. Unless, like, there's something I can actively do, which right now there is not. Ugh. Ugh. Cringiest human. If I leave here, I'm not going to Canada. I'm going. I'd rather go to Mexico, actually. But I mean, if we leave here, we'd probably go back to Rwanda. Because we love plants. And if we're going to leave Missouri, we're only going to leave Missouri if we can go somewhere more tropical, not less tropical. Because you see, my wife is basically a plant, and if she doesn't get to go outside in the sun, then she gets very, very sad. She needs to photosynthesize. we had jobs lined up when we left the Peace Corps. Kirsten was offered a job helping helping advocate for dog rights, dog legislature, and help raising puppies. So she would have been paid $20,000 a year to play with puppies and write legislation for dogs. $20,000 a year in Rwanda is a lot. Because we were living on, let's see, between the two of us, we were living on $250 a month. Let's see, $3,000 a year? Is that what that is? So $20,000 a year would have been great. I was offered a job at Home St. John, the hotel on the lake. They offered to let me live at the hotel and help them with customer relations. So basically, I would just live on grounds, help them book tourist things like boat rides and safaris, stuff like that. And basically, I would help with developing their menu, and essentially living there as someone who, when there are disgruntled English-speaking customers, I would work as a liaison between them and the Rwandan staff to make them less disgruntled. Basically, handling stuck-up Americans who don't respect Rwandans, and stopping the Rwandans from having to deal with them. Which is not great, but, you know, living in paradise. And just have to talk to some Americans every once in a while. Not too bad. Sounds rough. Well, and then it's one of those things that it does sound rough, but most of the issues that they run into are communication problems, like misunderstandings of communication, and it would just be helping with those misunderstandings. But there's so many jobs I could do there. It would not be hard for me to find a job. I probably would have. I would probably go work at the at KIE, the Kigali Institute of Education. So I would do curriculum development for their university art program, which they really do need. I love curriculum development. There's not a lot of MFAs in Rwanda. Dealing with Karens is kind of bad. But here's the thing. Karens are awful to deal with. You're absolutely right. But as awful as this sounds, essentially what I'd be dealing with is racist people that went to Rwanda for vacation. And essentially I'd be dealing with people that will be awful to a Rwandan but wouldn't be awful to me. I mean, that's terrible, but that's wouldn't be as awful. You're right, it would be awful. You're right, it does sound bad. At the same time, Home St. John is such a great place to live. I guess it sounds nice in theory, but then when I actually think about it, you're right, it does sound pretty awful. Because then I think about how, like, when I get out of the city and go to just across the river, how uncomfortable it is even just like going in a store. Because of the looks that you get just for wearing a mask. I always think it's crazy, like, going across the river, just walking into a gas station. It's like everyone immediately knows, oh, you're not from here. Oh, it is. Well, and going across the river is Illinois. I mean, yeah. But that doesn't mean anything in some places. Because, you know, it's a hoax. It's just a big hoax to control us and to stop Donald Trump from being reelected and all that jazz. This big hoax that the whole world is in on. The whole world is shut down just to elect Biden. The whole thing just got so politicized that it's a mess. All right. That's a big yawn. I think that's a yawn. If it is a yawn, it's a big one. You don't know how some countries made it so far? Slavery. Unfortunately. All right. Well, I'm going to stop there. And it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to take a break. Oh, it's a big laughing face, kind of? I read it as a big yawn. I don't know. Bill Gates will chip us. Iran said the vaccine will make you gay. Oh yeah, all these things. All right, have a good one. So now here's my dilemma. I don't know how long I'm going to take a break for. Not that long. Should I leave it going? I'm going to leave it going. I'm just going to put on the slide, the slide thing, and then come back when I'm ready to come back. So isn't there like when you're browsing streams, can't you like sort by? Oh no, you can sort by newest stream. You don't sort by longest stream. That's not a thing. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream because I might take a break for a little while and then come back. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. I'll be here tomorrow. All right. Thanks for hanging out.